Perfect. And then let's go ahead and share my screen. I know in the fourth one, I don't have my two screens today, so I'm going to try my best to get all these windows out because I know the fourth webinar one, I was looking at the video and there's some weird gray windows. So if there's something that's being blocked, just let me know and I'll try my best. Okay. So
Jessica, I'm
yeah.
going to make you a suggestion. When you go into present and the windows pop up, just hide it and then it'll get out of the way.
Okay, I'm gonna hide it. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, I'm gonna try my best. There we go. Okay, and I'm also using my phone as a remote here. I'm just trying out different things. Okay, so here is our fifth and final webinar. It's called The Fast and the Curious, which is an EduProtocol, and we are pairing this with Quizizz. Oh, that didn't work out well. Okay. And so target is really just to learn a little bit about the fast and curious EduProtocol and how we compare that with Quizizz so that we can have more engaging and more informative formative checks. So is anyone here familiar with EduProtocol or EduProtocols?
No.
No? Well, you are in for a treat. So EduProtocol actually was created by these two educators. So we have John Caripo and Marlena Hebern. I'm trying to practice their names right because she doesn't like it when I call her Hebern. So John Caripo and Marlena Hebern, they're educators, and basically it came down to the idea that a lot of the kids were apathetic and they were bored, so they were just really trying to find a way where they could create these fast-paced lessons. So at Edu Protocol, this is what they named it, and it's basically a lesson framework. And what I love about it as an educator and tech coach is that you can use an Edu Protocol for any subject and any grade. Okay, and also, I've run it in my classroom on paper. So they run what they call a summer smart start, and it's a way for you to build community and introduce your students to your classroom routines and to your subject while they're also learning a routine with the graphic organizer or this framework. And I love how they run it out because they always use some low cognitive information before they use the subject content. So by the time we actually do science work with it, the students already know what to do. So that's the one thing I love about it. So you can do it on paper, especially if in the beginning of the school year, it takes a while for your student Chromebooks to be rolled out. But you can also use it in you can also use it on digitally, so with Google Slides or Google Drawings or different tools that you have available to you. So they have many Edu protocols, and the one that I'm going to focus today on is the fast and curious. And um, and I like to put this part in. They don't really talk about this book, but I do, just to kind of hit home run with the idea. So fast and curious is actually based on the idea chapter 2 from this book called Make It Stick: The Science of Successful Learning. So if you haven't read this book, it's a great book. I suggest picking it up from the library or from Barnes and Noble or Amazon. It's a great quick read, and actually just gave me some really nice strategies in the classroom to kind of get those DOK level uh, information with the strategies. So chapter 2 of Make It Stick talks about retrieval practice. And it's talking about, making sure that you spend the time with your students on those lower order docs. And hold on, let me just go back here. Real quick. All right, so chapter 2 is really talking about retrieval practice, and it's about those vocabulary the doc level ones. So it's about recall type information, right? Like vocabulary. If in math it might be your times tables or your math facts. Trying to remember social studies, it could be your historical figures or important dates. So some of those small things, but your students need to know it so that they can move on to those higher order thinking questions, right? So Fast and Curious is this edu protocol that they came up with, and I actually just started pairing it with quizzes and thought that I was the big thing, and realized after I was talking to John Caripo and Marlena that other teachers were also doing it too. But yeah, I digress. So let's see what this looks like, what the format looks like. Okay. All right. So Fast and Curious. So what it would look like. So here's actually a template. If you go to their website, they have free templates from some of their books, and they also have a great Facebook community. They share a lot of videos. They share their own templates and lesson plans with you. But with Fast and Curious, it's an idea that you do one quick rep, and then you'll do an immediate feedback, and then you have the students do another rep. So it's kind of like practice, right? So here you get the idea of retrieval practice. So we're really just focusing on BOK level one. So for me, since I'm a science teacher, I used to do this where I would front load the unit's vocabulary at the beginning of the week. Okay. So without even explaining what the vocabulary is, I would just use my PDF and upload, or I would just create the quizzes lesson of all my vocabulary words that they needed to know for that particular unit. And then right on day one, before we go about the KWL, what they know about this, I would give them the quizzes and just give them about 5 minutes or so. And then I would, when everyone's done, I would go and look at the results, and we'd go over the top five that the students got, that they got wrong. And then I would say, okay, let's try again. So because that's the first time, it's very important to preface this with saying, hey, it's okay if we don't get passing. This is new information. This is how we grow. And but as we practice, just like our brain is a muscle as well. So I have a lot of students who played sports, and I use this analogy all the time. Our brain is also a muscle, and the more we practice and work out our brain, the stronger our brain is going to be, right? So that's the idea between the fast and curious. The more reps, more reps, right? It's reps and sets that you do with the weightlifting, the bigger your muscles are. So it's the same thing when it comes to working out our brains with the fast and the curious. Now, it's also important to talk about the fact that this isn't something that you would just do one day. It has to be repetitive. So for me, when I would do my vocabulary, it is my bell ringer. I am using the exact same bell ringer vocabulary quiz for the unit every single day. So I would start front loaded on Monday. We do the 5 minutes, go over the top five, and then I'll put it away and we go on to the lesson, right? Then they come in on Tuesday, and they know right away that the first thing they got to do is sign on to their Chromebooks, sign on to Quizizz, and then we do 5 minutes bell ringer vocabulary. And as you go on from Tuesday to Wednesday to Thursday, you're going to point out that growth, because you're going to see maybe even within the first couple of reps how those scores go from below 65 and it climbs up. So that's what you're tracking as a teacher, and that's what you're pointing out. You're pointing out those successes and you're increasing it. You're the hype master, right? So you're hyping them up, you're getting them excited about it. So the idea behind this is that now, just within the first week of a unit, they already know the vocabulary. So I don't have to spend that time in the class, uh, you know, going over vocabulary. I don't have to do activities like the Freyer models, or I don't have to do picture or definition homework with them because we've already built it in as a routine in our classroom. So there's a lot of other things that you can do as well. And I forgot to put my audio on. So Virginia, do you know how I can go back here, and if I play this video, I know they won't hear my audio. So is there a way
Oh,
on
Lord have
WebEx?
mercy. It has to do with your audio settings.
Yeah, right. Okay, so I'm
Um,
gonna go to my manage. Oh, right here.
Good.
Uh,
Glad you know where it is. I can't see it in mine.
there
Sorry.
you go. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna view. Okay, now I'm you're using computer for audio. Okay, so this is gonna be sad. But you know what? I'm just going to try my best. Oops, we didn't do that. Do this. Do you hear it? Uh, I'll put the audio and I'll
No.
put it in the chat. So this is Dan Bemis, and he's talking about how he is using Fast and Curious in his class. And I'll link this too. So hopefully you'll hear in another one. So he's talking about that leaderboard, and you can see the mastery accuracy. Okay. So what he said right there was that he was only doing his vocabulary for 3 days, and he set the goal 95% accuracy for everybody. And so now you're building that community, you're building that sense of collaboration with the students. So now it's not putting that attention on that one struggling learner, right? Now it's like everyone's helping and they're encouraging each other, and you are going to see that my students, they love to call out, but it's not disruptive. It wasn't disruptive at all. It was, they were calling out and they were saying, oh, Chris, you can do it. Come on, do the redemption, do the redemption. So it becomes really fun and motivating and very exciting just to see how quickly the students get into this type of protocol. So what I'm going to do is I actually have something for you, and I'm going to switch. So, and I'm actually going to model out EduProtocol with you. Okay, so I'm just gonna stop sharing for a little bit here so I could switch my screens. And I'm gonna just make this a live thing. So I'm gonna do, let's do Mastery Peak. You guys can do that. All right. And then I'm gonna go back and share, and then maybe this time I'll remember to check computer audio. All right, and I did. There we go. All right, so if you can see my screen, we're gonna go and sign into joinmyquiz.com, and the game code is 605724. I'm also going to go ahead and grab that link, move our chat window to the side, and I'm gonna try to throw it in there as well. Okay. Awesome. And you see Maria's qubit. Aren't these qubits so cute? I love that. I love that they get to also do their little customization here. So let me just check my chat room and see how many people I have, just so I also have an idea of how many avatars I'm looking for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Okay, so we got about 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we need about 10. We got Maria, we got Heather, we got Susan, we got Dean, Daniel, Virginia. Do we have Dan? How about you, Lucas? Laura? If you need the,
Oh, this would
if
have
you
last time. I
need,
couldn't get on.
if you need the link, I've got it in the chat, and I just put it in there for you again. All right, Lucas is in there. Okay. And Dan, how are you doing? We good? Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And so uh, I am going to quiz you on how well do you know your Gen Alpha self. So let's go ahead and get started. And we're using the master feature. Let me go ahead and turn it off. So, 'Cause like Lucas, I believe it's 2,000 points. Blue team. 4,000 I believe in Maria, not too far behind. And Heather as well. Just there, I learned some new vocabulary words today as well. All right, 6,000 there. We're trying to make it to 80% mastery. Uh-oh, brace yourself, Susan. That is avalanche. And, sometimes when your students get really intense, they don't want the mastery to peak because they don't want the distraction. They really want to work on the mastery. So it's just really that's my opinion, their preference. So to have attained mastery, awesome job. Let's see where the rest of us are. Not far behind Maria, Virginia. We got 13 questions reattempted, not too bad. And Lucas makes it all the way. Nice. Oh, look at all our masteries. We got 4 out of 8, 50%. And I believe also, I don't know if it's not, but I also believe if there's early finishers, there's mini games that they can play while the rest are still working through. Lucas confirmed that for me. All right, now we got 5 out of 8. Good work, everyone. They need a little bit more of a happy tune. It's like, all right. 6 out of 8. Good work. I wonder if I can change the song. Nope, I can't change the song. Uh-oh. Danielle triggered an avalanche. Oh, sweet. It's a long avalanche. All right. Okay. So normally what I would do is I would have it play until everyone's finished. But because we're such on a tight schedule here, I'm going to end a little early so that I could kind of show you what I would do afterwards. So just a little bit more. Oh, maybe we have, oh, wait like 30 more seconds and see if we could get 8 out of 8. Let's see. Okay, we're at the 80% mastery. Yay! Good work, everyone. We're
These
8
middle
out
school
of 8.
teachers should be killing it.
Right? I did have to look that up. I was like, what does this mean? What? All right, so I'm going to end it. We've got the 8 out of 8. So if this was a vocabulary thing at the beginning, if this was a Monday, I would just front load it just like that. You know, it's part of our routine. I would go around and just kind of encourage everyone. Awesome job for top scores. Woohoo! Look at our goals here. 2 wins. Maria, 6 of 5, 724. Susan's the warrior. We got the hustler. So now this is what I would talk about, right? So I would say, wow, look at that, everyone. 73% at our first try. We passed our vocabulary, right? And then I would just go down and look at some of these data reports. So what are some of the things that people attempted 2 times? So let's see, let's take a look at this question. So it would say, new details. What does that say? When your friend keeps posting their new sneakers or Insta, what are they trying to do? Are they chilling out? Are they slaying? Are they flexing? Or are they doing a glow up? What do you guys think? Anyone got the right one?
Flex.
Flex. Yes. So it will be flex. Let's do another one. Maybe this one right here. When your bug totally nails the quiz without hitting or studying those bugs, and they say, hey, no cap, what does that mean? It means no exceptions, no hat allowed, no limits, or no lies, or for real.
No lies.
No
Lies.
lie, no cap. So this is what I would talk about, So right there, just after that first attempt with everyone, you can see and just pick the top 2, top 5, no matter how much time you've got. And then so that gives them that immediate feedback, right? And then you let it go. You could go back to home and you're actually going to write that score down. And let me show you. I'm going to go back to my slideshow here. Okay. Whoops. Let's make it bigger, guys. All right, so we've done step 1, step 2, and then if you have time, you would reattempt the quiz. But even if you don't do a second rep the same day, that's fine because remember, you're going to be doing this over a 3 to 5 period time frame, right? So on Tuesday, you're going to say, okay, guys, our first score was 75%. What do you think? What should be our class goal today? And then have them set it, right? So then and I just love this one right here because these are all the other teachers' successes. And I'm going to actually just show you some of the ways. I'm going to do this full screen. So this one right here, Ariana, she's a science teacher. Here was the first day. So look at all the grades. Here was the second day. And then by third and fourth day, you have a sea of green. So you can even share that. You can even share that with your students. You say you want a sea of green, right? And then I'm gonna go a little bit forward here. This was Dan Bemis's chart from that video that didn't have audio. But if you have space on your whiteboard, write down your periods, right? And then how many trials or attempts. Me being a science teacher, I actually did this. I had an anchor chart and I called it our trials, right? We're collecting data. We're creating trials. So here was like all the my periods and then I did it by post-it. So after each rep, you would record that class accuracy and notice not bad, it's kind of there, but each time they go through it, you'll notice that hey, the score is getting higher and higher. You've got your 91, your 98. Even down here with a lot of the special education students, because most of my experience, I have a big group. I had like 17 in a group of 25. This is probably one of those. So they start here, but even then, you could see that great acceleration, that growth. And I love this strategy because it teaches resilience, growth mindset, grit, and also all of those test taking skills, right? So fast and curious, even though they think they're just playing a game, uh, they're really learning the vocabulary. So then you can go on to those higher order thinking skills. You don't even have to give them a vocab quiz because they've already showed you that they've mastered it. Just like how Dan said, they don't get the homework. They don't need to have the test. They've already earned that 95% accuracy. So just one of those things I wanted to share. Now, here on the slide, I also gave you more information. So here's a webinar with Ariana. So she talks more about how she does that in science. There's also a history teacher, I forgot his name, sorry, on how he uses it in history class. So lots of examples. Feel free also to go through the slideshow of successes here and then earn your badge. We've got a learning path just on EduProtocols with Quizizz. So it's not just fast and curious. They have other EduProtocols, but this is the one that I thought worked really well for my classes and worked really well with my daily routines. Um, and you could do it with other ed tech tools, Bookit, Gimkit, but I found that Quizizz was actually better for me to use because it gave me that real-time live feedback. It was just easier for me to keep everything there. All right. So, some best practices with Fast and Curious and Quizzes. Very important to establish those time limits because your students will beg you to do another rep. And they will just say, can't we just do this the whole class? Right? But they'll, just make sure that the quick thing about Fast and Curious is that it has to be fast. So 5 limits, maybe 1 or 2 reps most in one period or one day, and then stick to that and then moving them on to something else. Encourage that collaboration and also celebrate those achievements. So, hey, you could just call them out, you could give them your certifications, or just like what Dan did there, or what I used to do is we would have Fun Day Friday. If everyone, did 100% because they've showed it, they've shown that growth, then let's do something else. Let's put aside, the vocabulary activity I had because I didn't need it. They already showed that they've understood and shown demonstrated mastery of it.
How long does it usually take when you do it in a class? Like 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Yeah, so short time frame is the key to it. So just like how we did that, that was probably 5 minutes or less than 10, right? But the thing is to kind of make sure that you're the cheerleader. So while they're doing it, walk around, do the cheerleading thing, just egg them on, just kind of hype them up. Honestly, it also depends on how many vocabulary words you have in your quizzes. I try to chunk it. So if you've got over 30 in a unit, pare it down, to the most important, like 20. And though you could do a set of 10 1 week and the other set of 10 the next week, and you could even spiral review. So I just try to make it within 5 minutes because if it gets too long, you know, then it's doesn't keep that uh what was that? What was that slang word there? The
I have no, I
flex word
didn't
or
know any of them.
yeah, but I really would not keep it more than 5 minutes. I would just say let's do one rep. If you notice that the scores were pretty low, maybe 30s, 40s, I would probably do another rep and get it to 60s, 70s. Because I would want to start with that score as their first score, 60, 70, and then keep going up. So it's really totally up to you. You know your students best, and you know what really motivates them. So kind of keeping them on their toes as well
Yeah.
works. So, a little information about our quizzes project. This is our last webinar. You got 2 weeks to work on your project, and this is due on Friday, the 29th. I will be emailing you the Google form. Probably not today, maybe by next Tuesday. I'm training a lot of PD for Friday and Monday, so I'm hoping to be able to sit down and run the video and all of everything. But it should give you some time if you've missed some of the previous webinars to catch up on that and to work on your quizzes project. So here's the details. I'd like you to create a quizzes with a minimum of 5 questions. This would be for your grade, your subject. So I want you to create something that you are would be using in your classroom. I'd like you to mix up the question types and the DOK levels and incorporate at least 2 AI features, whether that is to differentiate it for your learners or to enhance it, make it more engaging, more motivating. And then the last thing is to assign it as an asynchronous homework. So in the Google form I'm sending out to you, I recorded it and made it as a GIF so you can see the steps on how, so that I could access it and I could see the different parts that you used. And then of course no due date because I'd like to be able to see it, right? So that's it. I hope that it's not too much. If you already have something that you want to do and you just want to tweak it to meet the criteria, that's perfectly okay with me. Yeah, so if you have any questions, feel free to reach out as well. And you know that you got that bingo training sheet. Oh no, I didn't do the memes. I was trying out the memes. Did anyone get to try out the fast food emoji trivia from last week? Did anybody get to try that? I think I did put the customized meme sets on that. So I also put a link in there if you're interested in putting in your info there or your, like your own memes. So the last thing I'm asking of you within our last few minutes here is I am a school Quizizz champion, which means that what I was talking to Heather before, I do bring quizzes to schools. And so in order for me to continue doing that, I'd love for you to just take one more quizzes for me, which is a feedback form, not for me, but for the Quizizz company themselves. Oh, this is not me. Okay, well, that's great, Cheska. I might just go to my library instead. All right. And so I just ask you to take a few minutes. It's 3 questions just to let quizzes know how I'm doing with, introducing quizzes to teachers and if it's been helpful for you, if it's something that, or, if you have something to request, like something you'd like to see more of, they're constantly trying to improve. So they definitely do encourage that. So let me just get this quizzes champion feedback. Here we go. So I'm gonna just do a quick, let's do regular continue live, and I'll throw that in the chat as well.
Okay.
And here's my link. All right, so joinmyquiz.com 510594, and let me bring the chat over. And here's your link. I really would appreciate that. Okay, so
Five,
yeah,
one,
like I was saying before,
five,
as Heather was saying, if you'd like us to come visit your school and just do a PD on that as well, yeah, let me or Virginia know. Do that. Guavestein. I love these names.
Fig fudge.
Big fudge. I'm not so sure about that. Big fudge. All right, let's go ahead and get started there. Stop. I love that. Some of their song tracks are really good, actually. It's like one of these lo-fi beats. All right, is everybody done? Give it a few more seconds for everyone to get caught up. And then it's raffle time. Oh wow. All done. Good. Okay, thank you everybody for that feedback. Appreciate it. And let us get back to here. Raffle time. Raffles. It's like my favorite part. I feel like Oprah. You get. All right, so we have everybody here today. Yes, All right, so let's shuffle it out. And last chance. Let's go. Woohoo! Lucas, congratulations. All right. And Julie, uh, who's the other one too? Julie and Francis. I hope they also got theirs. I just sent them your info. So Lucas, within the next few days, I'll let them know your email address, and you should be able to have um your 3 month premium access. That's what I was trying to say.
Awesome. Thank you.
You are welcome. All right. So I really want to thank you, everyone. It's been a fun ride. Ooh, no pun intended there. Fun ride with this 5-part webinar journey. And I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. And yeah, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out at any
Okay.
time. Here's my email, my Twitter, and my website. I hope you guys have a great day.
Thanks.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Thank you,
Bye.
Jessica.
You're
Thanks so much.
welcome. You're welcome. Have a great one.